Hey guys, what's up? Galaxy S3 Mod here, and today we're going to be looking at the LG G3. In this video, I'm going to be showing you different performance testing apps and how the G3 fares up against some of the other flagships like the HTC One M8 and the Samsung Galaxy S5. So let's get right to it. Alright guys, so the LG G3 is considered to be one of the best phones out in 2014. It has one of the best processors, it has one of the best looking screens, and it also has a lot of RAM to back it up. So if we dive in here, I'm going to be showing you the 3 apps that I will be using, and they are Antutu Benchmark, Quadrant Standard, and 3D Mark. I'm going to run them in that order. And the third one, 3D Mark, is more for games and things if you're interested in playing mobile games, which many people are. So I'm going to run that last. It is time consuming, so at the end I'll just let that run. I'm not going to commentate or anything because it just plays a video. Not really a video, but while it's testing you, see little things, little ships flying, you'll see. So first, we're going to go into settings. And we are going to go to Smart Cleaning. And we're going to wait. And we're going to Smart Clean so that we get all this out of here so that the G3 is at its most powerful state and has all the room it needs to do everything. So we're going to hit Clean. Cleaned it up. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to clean it up just to show you guys that you cleaned it. It's all good. RAM is cleared now, and we're also going to reboot very quickly. Power off and restart. So you guys know it's all cleaned up, refreshed, and everything's good to go. I like to show you guys the fact that I cleaned it and rebooted it on screen, just because it lets you understand and see what was done before, so you know nothing's, I don't have a bunch of apps running in the background or say that it's cleaned and it's not cleaned. This way you know that at this state, the LG G3 will be performing at some of its best. So let's just give it another maybe 30 seconds here. Not even 30 seconds. Wow, that was really quick. That's quicker than I even expected. 2 and I on the phone. Alright. So first we're going to start. I'm going to take off. I'm going to put airplane mode on. And some of you might want to run it without airplane mode on. This way it just shows the absolute power of the phone. So we're going to do Antutu Benchmark. Let this start up here. That was my first score, 29,270. This is excellent. How can you be so good? That's because the LG G3 is some of the best. It compares well against the other things, but today we are going to simply test again. And we're going to do the normal tests. I keep getting texts that's going in the background, so there's nothing else going on now. The other messages that were popping up were just saying that text couldn't send because I'm in airplane mode, so that's fine. What I've noticed is that Benchmark seemed to think that it does worse, or the Galaxy LG G3, excuse me, performs best when it's doing 2D and 3D performance tests. Some of the others also RAM. It does very well at RAM. But the others, it seems average to me from what I've seen so far. So let's just test this and see how it goes. It shouldn't be too long, but it will be good. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more like this one. I'm going to be doing performance tests probably to compare this phone, the LG G3, to other phones that I own. So I'm gonna see how I can do just to show how fast it is, to show like screen comparisons and that kind of things. I also might be going and doing camera comparison, which I think if you guys might want to do that, between the LG G3 and possibly the HTC One M8 with low resolution or not low resolution, high resolution photos. So hopefully that'll be good. Also low light photos and photos with a lot of light. So we'll see. Alright, so now it's at multitask performance, which should be pretty quick because multitasking performance was one of the areas where the LG G3 gained most of its points. So it should not be too much longer here. And then I'm going to take it off of airplane mode. Just clear the RAM. I'm not going to restart it for every event, for every test that I run. But I'm going to clear the RAM, put it off of airplane mode so that you can download and compare results. And hopefully that should be good. And if you guys haven't noticed, I have my LG G3 was one of the few, supposedly few, I'm not sure if it's the actual few, that's been plagued by the crack above the mic. I could take it into T-Mobile and get it fixed, but it seems like too much of an inconvenience for a slight crack, so I do once again apologize for the crack. I didn't do anything to it, I didn't drop it or anything. If I dropped this, I would die. Now this is just finishing up. I'm always baffled when it says the resolution is so high. It just amazes me. Oh, this is pretty cool. I saw this the first time that I ran it. It's a little graphics test. Let me see if I can bring it up here. And let's try to focus for you guys. There you go. And this is not the highest brightness. This is the brightness that the camera, which is the HTC One M8, can see the screen the best. So it's not highest brightness. It's like, I'd say 45% brightness. So when I'm looking at it, it does look pretty bright, even with half brightness, but it's nice. In the corner down here, it's very hard to see down in the corner there. You get a frame rate, but honestly, I can't even read it because it's so small. Alright, 100% testing. There we go. Alright, right now it says the HTC One M8 got a score of 42,000. Galaxy S5 got a score of around 42,000. Actually, the One M8 got a little higher than 42,000. I'd say about 43,000. And down here, it's probably going to say non-verified. Alright, so we're going to look at details. Non-verified score. So we're going to take this off. Alright, so let's read what it says. The CPU is good, supports large apps and multitasking. The RAM is good. 2D graphics, excellent. 3D graphics, excellent. Fluently supports large mobile games. Which is true, this does support it very well. I've played games such as Modern Combat 4 on here, as well as Asphalt 8, and they've handled very, very well. So compared to these, it says that the test of the LG G3 never fares up. But in my experience, all of the devices that I've ran, compared to these scores, they've never been that high. So to compare, my Galaxy S3, when I ran it, got about a score of 12,000. So just to compare there, I'll show the HTC ones in a later video. So for now, that's that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear my RAM. Make sure it's cleared, it's good. I'm going to put airplane mode back on, fire up Quadrant Standard. I'm going to run full benchmark, and it'll go off. Excuse the camera shaking. There we go. Alright, let me pick this up for you guys so you can see better colors. If you haven't ran a Antutu Quadrant Standard or any of the benchmarks, I find it interesting to compare. I look at what it compares to the other devices and says what they scored, but I personally just enjoy comparing it to like other phones that I have in hand. So if I have my LG G3 and my Samsung S3, Samsung Galaxy S3, or the Galaxy Avant, which I have it failed, of course it did. Result browser. Connection failed. I'm gonna wait for it to get back up here. My 4G LTE. I should just keep airplane mode off. I'll do that for the next one. Alright. Result browser. And you can see like some of the Samsung phones. This is not very updated. I guess it wants me to run it again because I didn't have the internet. So I'm just going to pause it here and I'll get back to you when it's done. Okay guys, I'm back. The benchmark is finished. So if you want to compare these to the older phones like the HTC One X, the Samsung Nexus S, wow, that's ancient. So as you can see here, the top is the LG G3, your device, the HTC One X. So at the bottom here, I believe that this is CPU. The red is memory. That is I/O. I believe the green is 2D, and the yellow is 3D. There might be one in the middle. They used to have little colors there. I just can't see the colors. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, CPU. CPU is blue. Memory is red. And then I/O, and then 2D is a little orange sliver you can barely see, but it's there. And then yellow. So let's compare this. The number is 21,478, which is a really fantastic score. But then again, you can't really, there's not really much to compare it to here. So, alright, so now on to the last test, 3D Mark. It's going to check for updates, let it do its thing. So 3D Mark does a few things, which is pretty cool. What it does is, it has a normal test, it has an unlimited test, and it has an extreme test. Now the Ice Storm, which is down here, normal, device-to-device comparisons of mainstream mobile devices using 720 graphics, and Ice Storm Extreme is comparisons using 1080p graphics. Now when I ran the normal Ice Storm, let's see if it'll show my device. For Ice Storm Normal, it grades it on a scale. Mine maxed out. As in, it got the maximum possible score. Now we can see other devices that maxed out here as well. You can see some Acer computers, and the Acer Liquid S2 phone maxed out as well. So those are some Windows 8 tablets I saw down there. So then when I ran Ice Storm Extreme here, I got a score of 9,144, which does not seem too bad. The other Acer devices that I just saw that also all maxed out, this one got a score of 8,900, 5,500, 8,300, and a few others maxed out, which isn't pretty bad. From what this shows, if that's maxed out, and that's 8,900, it seems like the max is about 10,000, so 9,144 does not seem like a bad score. So we're going to run it again, and I'll show you guys exactly what goes on. I'm going to turn it. I don't know, I'm not going to play the sound, because I believe that there is sound. I'll just focus in for you guys. I'm just going to I just want you to be able to see the FPS and frames down there. It's actually kind of a cool video for a graphics test, you know? It's kind of interesting. So right now, it's going at about, it's juggling about 52 to 47 FPS. There is some drops down there to 30, but they're very minuscule drops. Like they drop for like a second and go right back up. Some of these is hitting 60. Right now it's hitting 60, which is very good. This test is about 2 minutes long for the first part, and the other part, I believe, is about only a minute. So if you want to skip to about, I don't know, say 30 seconds before the video ended, you'd probably see the score. If not, you can just skip ahead. It doesn't bother me. You do what you want to. As I said though, GameMark 3D, this test is meant for gaming. It'll compare how well your device can perform against others, which I think is very helpful. I play games all the time on my phone, and I believe that a test like this is pretty interesting because I get to see like what my friends did, like how well I play a game. Because how well you play a game on a phone can, like from one device to another, you can get a completely different experience. So I think it is important. Here's the second part of the test. This is the second, well, I don't know why it still says the first part, but this part's only about a minute, and then there's another part after that. So just hang in there. We'll get the scores eventually. This one just kind of shows the ship flying around, which I thought was cool the first time I saw it. And it should load the second part about now. And here it is, test 2. Some people might hate me for saying this, but I thought this kind of looked like Star Wars when I first saw it. I've only seen a handful of the Star Wars movies. I haven't seen them all. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I do think it's pretty cool. I like this kind of stuff. I think it's kind of funny that a game like this is inspiring me to go watch Star Wars, or a benchmark test is inspiring me to go watch Star Wars. It's pretty cool though. I just testing the bounce. Now it's getting got about 25 frames there. I believe that is the last part, and result details right here. Okay, so it should be done. This one scored a few hundred points lower. Once again, no, recommend. I'd love to recommend. 800 people. I was the 800th person to recommend the LG G3. Well, the T-Mobile. Your device isn't working normally. Now see how it compares to the latest models. So basically it's saying that your device is fine. Device channel. I'm going to go over to device channel. And we can look at help. I don't need help. Some of the other devices, they have the NVIDIA Shield 16,000, which is pretty high. But then again, the Shield is designed for that, which is expected of it. Alright, so a score of 8,700 is not bad. It'll be able to perform all the games that you want. So the Moto X got a 10,654. The Nexus 7 got a 10,000. Let's go a little lower to get to like the 8,000s. Show more devices. Alright, so about the 8,000s, we got the Nexus 10, LG GX, the Optimus G. Which I know that the Optimus G is not as good as the LG G3, which is why I like to say that for some of these tests, I like to add a few points to the scores, because some of it's just not correct, and compared to the other devices. Some of these scored like really bad, but they still consider 8,000 to be like 4.5 stars. So anyway, alright guys, so that is the end of my benchmark test for the LG G3. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video or have a friend that has a G3, why don't you just share the video onto them and get some more views. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos similar to this one, as all my future videos will be primarily around the LG G3. Alright guys, this is Galaxy S3 Modder, and I'll see you next time.